interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this special report.
Good evening, everybody. We are breaking into your regularly scheduled programming once again this afternoon, as it has been a very active weather day. We have had several severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings issued area-wide, and we are coming to you live this evening because we did just have another tornado warning issued. This time, our previous ones were into our northern counties, and this time this one actually issued into portions of Somerset County. This storm was producing potential radar indicated rotation, as well as some torrential rainfall and some strong wind gusts into Westmoreland County. And now that radar indicated rotation has crossed into portions of Somerset County. So we are going to get just a little bit more information on this storm. That tornado warning rather is into northern Somerset County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect through for northern Somerset County as well as southern Cambria County. So all of these areas will want to be getting into your tornado safe space now if you are not already. So that tornado warning is for north central Somerset County. At around 5:37 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Jerome, and again moving very slowly to the east at only around 25 miles per hour. So that's why we are seeing that potential for some flooding within these storms as well. We do not have any confirmed tornado on the ground within this storm, but we are seeing that radar indicated rotation, which we will get to in just a few minutes. This storm right around Jerome right about now, and it is expected to move through Davidsville around 5:50 p.m. this evening. So around the next 10 minutes or so, Davidsville, you will want to be getting into your tornado safe spot. We are going to take off the lightning here so we can get a closer view of this storm. We will put a storm cone on that. This is moving again very slowly to the east at around 25 miles per hour. We will extend this storm cone out past the warning time as well, just in case that storm is to end up retensifying downstream. So this tornado warning is in effect for northern Somerset County, moving through Jerome right about now by around 5:45 p.m. By around 5:50, we are expecting this storm to move through Davidsville, and then by 6:07 p.m., Old Shade Furnace. You will want to get into your safe spot now if you are not already. If you are within this tornado warned storm or even the severe thunderstorm warning, a lot of the storms that have been developing so far today have had that tendency to rotate and therefore produce tornado warnings. So if you have been with us throughout a lot of the afternoon, you have seen me go over this quite a few times, but velocity is what we look at to see that radar indicated rotation within a storm. And what we are looking for to indicate that rotation is those green colors coming closer to those reds. Green colors indicating winds going toward the radar, and red means winds are going away from the radar. So once you see those darker colors come close together within a storm, that means that we are seeing some rotation within the storm, and that does mean that that storm is capable of producing a tornado. I'm going to circle that here for you. And when you do see those colors switch like that, this area is still right along that line in between the Pittsburgh radar and the State College radar. So it is just kind of switching between those two radars to give us the best views of the storm. But again, what we are looking at is this area right here, just off to the east of Davidsville, is where we are watching that radar indicated rotation. So I'm going to circle this for you here. This is the area that we're looking at. It is just beginning to cross into Somerset County from Westmoreland County, and this storm is moving relatively slowly again at around 25 miles per hour off to the east. So if you are within this tornado warning, you will want to get into your tornado safe spot now. This tornado also moving over some major roadways. Roadways included in this tornado warning: Route 985, Route 219, 601, and 403. So if you do know anybody traveling on those roads now or over the next around 15 minutes or so, you will want to tell them to pull over and get to a safer location, whether that's a gas station or a rest stop. You will want to be in a sturdy structure if you are within the path of this tornado warned storm. If you are at home, best place to be is definitely the basement. If you do not have a basement, next best place to be will be anywhere away from any outside walls, doors, or windows. So any green highlighted area that you see on this map here is your best place to go during a tornado warning. Basement will be your #1 best place. Then the areas highlighted in green here, that includes some interior hallways, staircases, closets, and bathrooms. Of course, if they don't have windows, will be your best place to take shelter from this potential tornado. Another thing you could do, try and keep yourself safe, is to cover yourself with blankets or mattresses, even put on a helmet to protect yourself from potential flying debris as that storm continues to move to the area. But again, safest place to be will be the basement. And if you aren't included in any of these warnings that we have seen so far this afternoon, you will want to stay very weather aware throughout the rest of the day, as we do have a level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather for most of our area, meaning that really any severe weather threat is on the table, including tornadoes. We've already seen multiple tornado warnings this afternoon. Large hail up to quarter size is possible, high winds exceeding 60 miles per hour possible in any severe thunderstorm, and we also have been dealing with some localized flooding. We do have a flood watch in effect for the entire area highlighted in green here. And also, due to these slow-moving storms, we have been seeing those torrential downpours prompting flash flood warnings for portions of Somerset, Bedford, and Jefferson counties. And even though not everyone has seen a severe storm so far today, the potential is there. We do have all the ingredients for severe weather present today. So we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the entire area. So everyone will want to be on alert for potential watches, warnings, and advisories to be issued throughout the rest of the afternoon. So again, we are breaking into your regularly scheduled coverage for this tornado warning. This is for, again, a different area than we were focusing on last time. This is for portions of northern Somerset County. This storm is moving to the east rather slowly at around 25 to 35 miles per hour. It does look like this storm just beginning to move into Davidsville. And even if we aren't seeing a confirmed tornado on the ground from this storm, it still is capable of producing some torrential rain, frequent lightning, as well as some strong wind gusts up to around 60 miles per hour. As outside of that tornado warning, we still do have a severe thunderstorm warning, and that one does include southern Cambria County as well as northern Somerset County. But again, that tornado warning in effect for northern Somerset County this evening. We'll toss it over the desk and then come back with a few updates.
All right, so this marks our 6th tornado warning that we are seeing in our area right now, and this is all according to the National Weather Service. You're seeing the one that is in Cambria County right now until right about 6 o'clock. So what exactly is a tornado warning? It does mean that a developing tornado has been detected by the National Weather Service Doppler radar or has been reported on the ground by reliable sources. If this tornado warning is issued for your county, you should begin to seek shelter immediately. If you see a tornado or live near an area and feel threatened, you are to move to a safe place immediately, as precious seconds can save your life. If you're in a home or a small business, go to the basement or a small interior room such as a closet, bathroom, or an interior hallway without windows on the lowest level. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. And if possible, get under something sturdy, such as a heavy table, or use a mattress to protect yourself from flying debris. Most injuries associated with high winds are from flying debris, so remember to protect your head. And if you're able, put a bicycle or motorcycle helmet to protect yourself from head injuries. If you're in a large business, school, hospital, shopping center, or factory, go to the designated shelter area. And if a shelter area is not available, the best place that you can go is to an interior hallway on the lowest level. Stay away from the structurally weaker portions of that building, such as windows and rooms with expansive roofs, which are more likely to collapse when a tornado strikes. If you're in a mobile home or home on stilts, get out and take shelter in a sturdy building or storm shelter. And if there's not one nearby, take shelter in the most interior room that has no such windows, such as an interior bathroom or a closet. If you're caught in a vehicle, get out and into a sturdy shelter. If one is not available nearby, get to a low spot and cover your head from flying debris, and do not take cover under an overpass, as this does not provide adequate shelter during a tornado and can cause increased wind speeds due to the tunneling effect. Don't waste time to open windows in an attempt to prevent damage to a building. That old belief that damage could result from rapid pressure changes during a tornado, that is not the case. It will not make a difference if a tornado is in the area. if your window is open or not. Your safest course of action is to take shelter immediately. Don't waste time to open windows or anything of the sort if and when a tornado warning is issued in your area. Now, we wanted to look at some of this video that we saw a little bit earlier today. This was sent into our Facebook account from Hope Smith. This is video from in Jefferson County from a tornado warning that has since expired. This is, I believe, in the Somerville area, and you can see some of those rotations coming along. Of course, we can't confirm that a tornado has touched down there, but these are the kind of things that we see all the time, and this is why we come on air to tell you to seek shelter, because something like this can turn very difficult and very deadly very quickly. So, Kate, we want to bring you back in here. What exactly are you seeing?
Yeah, so we are continuing to break into your regularly scheduled programming this afternoon and this evening due to the fact that we have seen a very active past couple of hours with several severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. And now we are focusing into portions of northern Somerset County. That's where we did have a tornado warning just issued a few minutes ago. I will zoom in a little bit closer on Doppler 6 satellite and radar. This storm just about to be moving through Davidsville. So Davidsville, if you are not already in your tornado safe spot, whether that's a building or an interior or a basement rather, or an interior room, you will want to get there right now as that storm is just beginning to move over there. This storm was originally located over Jerome and is moving very slowly to the southeast at around 20 miles per hour. So again, these storms are also capable of producing some very strong winds and some localized downpours, which has already led to some reports of flooding this afternoon. So we could see some potential flying debris that is going to be very dangerous to anybody caught outside during this storm. So if you do know anybody outside or anybody driving in this tornado warning this evening, you will want to tell them to get into a safe spot now, as that is continuing to show some signs of radar indicated rotation. We don't have any confirmed reports of a tornado on the ground just yet, but that doesn't mean that the storm isn't dangerous. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect through 6:15 p.m. and that one does include portions of Cambria County as well. So I will get a little bit more information on that one for you. So really anybody within this severe thunderstorm warning wanting to be keeping a close eye on this storm, as a lot of these storms today have had the tendency to rotate as our atmosphere is pretty unstable. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for southwestern Cambria County as well as northern Somerset County. That severe storm was located into Westmoreland County, moving very slowly again to the east at around 25 miles per hour, and that storm is capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So again, even if we aren't seeing a tornado on the ground, the storm is still capable of producing damage. We are going to switch over now to our velocity, which is how we see the winds within those storms. And the good news is it does look like that velocity and that rotation within that severe warned storm is starting to weaken a bit. So what we do look at for here is those reds and greens coming closer together, indicating that radar indicated rotation. Maybe not necessarily a tornado on the ground, but the potential is there. So something else that we are actually going to check out now is Johnstown is in portions of that severe thunderstorm warning. We are going to pull up our Johnstown weather eye, and we are starting to see some of those very strong winds moving through there. You can see our camera shaking in the wind a bit, and we also have been seeing some heavy rain moving through that area as well as some frequent lightning. We can even hear that thunder in the studio right now this evening. So really anywhere within that severe thunderstorm warning, going to want to keep a very close eye on that. But again, here's the look at our Johnstown weather eye showing those strong winds that are within that severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to jump back to our velocity now and take a closer look at that tornado warning. That is still in effect for around the next 5 to 7 minutes or so. That tornado warning is set to expire at around 6 o'clock this evening, and we will stick with you with live coverage of that through the end of this warning. And if that is, whether that's expired early, expired right at 6, or if that is extended into other portions of Somerset County. But what we look for on velocity is those reds and greens coming closer together. That indicates winds that are going toward and also away from the radar within these storms. And when you start to see those colors come closer together, that indicates that there is some rotation in the storm. So that area that we just circled there, that is some of that radar indicated rotation, and thankfully it is looking a lot weaker than it was earlier today. I will go back just a few radar scans so we can see exactly just how strong that rotation was, especially when it was in portions of Westmoreland County. You can see these are some earlier scans. You can see that dark green and dark red next to each other into Westmoreland County. But then as the storm continues to push off to the east, we do start to see those colors lighten a bit and also not be as close to each other. So it does look like that radar indicated rotation is starting to broaden and weaken a bit, which is definitely good news. But if you are still within this tornado warning, you're still going to want to take it very seriously. I'm going to throw another storm cone on here. Just so we could see, exactly where this storm will be heading, and we'll also double check to make sure it's still moving at the same speed, still very slowly at around 20 miles per hour. So let me throw one of these on here and make sure we have the right speed of that storm moving at 20 miles per hour off to the east-southeast. And we will extend this for the next half hour or so, which does go beyond what these warnings are issued for. But really anyone downstream of this warning will want to keep a very close eye on it, as we have been seeing the tendency to rotate in really any storms that are moving east-southeast so far today. So a few towns that this will be moving toward is right around 5:59, still moving through Davidsville. So Davidsville, you will want to be in your tornado safe spot now, and then eventually beginning to move into other portions of northern Somerset County. So anyone downstream of this tornado warning will want to be keeping a very close eye on it as we head toward the next couple of minutes. This warning again set to expire in about 4 to 5 minutes or so. But even on top of that, we have had a very active afternoon thus far. We don't have any other tornado warnings active currently, but we are keeping an eye on severe thunderstorm warnings. Those are currently in effect for Jefferson County, Elk County, and Cameron counties. We are seeing those warnings in effect through around 6:30 this evening. Those storms are capable of producing some torrential downpours as well as some very strong wind gusts, even exceeding around 60 miles per hour. But the one that we are continuing to focus on is that tornado warning into northern Somerset County, as well as the severe thunderstorm warning into northern Somerset and southern Cambria County. But again, even if you aren't within any of these current warnings, we are going to continue to see a severe thunderstorm watch for the entire area through later this evening. So it is going to be very important to keep your devices charged and have multiple ways to receive any watches, warnings, or advisories that are issued throughout the rest of this evening. Now we'll toss it back over to the desk.
All right, thanks, Kate. And of course, those warnings can pop up so quickly. We've been watching this one start in Westmoreland and make its way over, and it's just at the snap of a finger that it gets extended, and then we have to come back on to you. So, of course, tornado warnings, that does mean that a developing tornado has been detected by the National Weather Service Doppler radar or has been reported on the ground by a reliable source. If this tornado warning is issued for your county or your area, you should seek shelter immediately. If you see a tornado or live near an area and feel threatened, move to a safe place immediately, as precious seconds can save your life. If you are in a home or a small business, go to the basement or a small interior room such as a closet, a bathroom, an interior hallway without windows on the lowest level. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. And if you're able, get under something sturdy such as a heavy table, or use a mattress to protect yourself from any possible flying debris that you may encounter. Most of the injuries that are associated with high winds are from flying debris, so remember to protect your head, and if available, put on a bicycle or a motorcycle helmet to protect yourself from any possible head injuries. If you're in a large business, a school, hospital, shopping center, any kind of commercial building, try to go to the designated shelter area. If a shelter area is not available, the best place to go is to an interior hallway on the lowest level. Stay away from the structurally weaker portions of buildings, such as windows, rooms with expansive roofs. Those, of course, are more likely to collapse if a tornado is to strike. And if you're in a mobile home or a home on stilts, get out and take shelter in a sturdy building or storm shelter. And let's go back over to Kate now, where that tornado warning is still going on. Kate, tell us more.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. We still do have that tornado warning in effect for northern Somerset County for the next around minute or two. And thankfully, we did just get word from the National Weather Service that they are planning to expire that tornado warning at around 6 o'clock. So we are continuing to see that radar indicated rotation weakening, but we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning around that. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for northern Somerset as well as southern Cambria County. That storm is still capable of producing some frequent lightning, localized downpours, and some strong wind gusts up to around 60 miles per hour. So while we are seeing that rotation weakening, we still are going to keep a very, very close eye on really any storms that do continue to develop throughout the rest of this evening, as it has already been a very active day thus far. We have had countless severe thunderstorm warnings as well as a few tornado warnings. We also are still keeping an eye on some severe thunderstorm warnings into our northern counties. We do have another severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Elk and Cameron counties, another one in effect for Jefferson County as well. We also have a flash flood warning in effect for portions of Jefferson County. So if you absolutely do have to head out really anytime tonight, you will want to be alert for some potentially rapidly changing weather conditions, as we have been seeing some frequent lightning, localized downpours, and that potential for tornadoes. So again, we are just going to stick with you through around 6 o'clock, and then we'll get to 6 News at 6 right after that, as that tornado warning was just allowed to expire. And we'll be sure to break in with any further tornado warnings if they are issued throughout the rest of this evening. But now we will get right to 6 News at 6.
This has been a WJAC